Howdy folks. Over the weekend, TJ and I went to a Star Trek meetup where we met some people from the local Star Trek group and played some games. Well, I played a game, and TJ either played one game or watched a bunch of games, but either way, we had fun. The game that I played was... Boy, I'm not prepared. Apparently it's called Star Trek Deck Building Game. And, yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. It's the first deck building game I've played. So it took me a little bit to figure out the actual mechanics and how it worked. But overall, it looked like it would be a very interesting game no matter your skill level, with a couple notable exceptions. The first exception is if you are completely new to it, as everyone except for the guy introducing us was, it's very slow, and there's a lot of, well, there's no strategy really, because everything's done with your hand played, or your hand shown, so that you can get tips and tricks and advice. Sort of like the first time you play poker, I guess. Everyone knows what cards you have because you keep saying, oh, is this good? Is this good? So that takes something away from it. The other notable exception is we found a card that I guess was just really powerful. Basically, as soon as one person played this card, it was a matter of time before he won. Period. End of story. It may have just been that we were using a watered down set of the rules, but that shouldn't happen in a polished, finished game. But overall, it's definitely a, well, I suppose I should talk a bit about the actual deck building part of it. You start off with, I joined in the middle, so I'm not quite sure what you start with. But you start off with some cards, which are mostly basic, it looks like. And you can use the basic cards to buy more cards from the central pile. Everyone gets the same central pile to buy from, so there's a bit of strategy there of, well, if I take this, then I can make someone else not able to have it, or if I get rid of this, someone else can't have it. There are two main concepts as far as the deck building goes. There's discarding and trashing. Trashing a card removes it from your deck, and discarding just puts it in your discard pile. When you run out of cards to draw, you shuffle your discard into your deck and draw more. Every turn you discard 5, and there are cards that let you discard more, trash some, do various stuff. But at the end, you're trying to be the first to have the best ship. Well, no, you're trying to be the first to have the most victory points. Explaining it in one go seems like a very daunting task to me. It seems like it would be much easier to actually play it and explain, which is what was going on at the meetup. But it's complex, but not too complex once you get the hang of it, because everything just kind of seems to flow. So overall, I'd say it's a really worth it game if you can, I don't know, maybe take little bits of it out, or I guess it's the game designer in me that wants to change it up a little and modify how things work to make it more balanced. As it stands, it is not super balanced, but it is fair. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't want to play it again, but I know that no one I know will want to play it because TJ doesn't play card games, and most of the other people I play games like that with either don't have the time investment or don't care that much about Star Trek. Time investment, it looks like it takes about 2 to 3 hours to play. 2 hours start to finish. Probably a lot less if everyone knows what they're doing. So Star Trek deck building game needs a better name. I thought it had a better name. And it's pretty good. Maybe 3 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 if you're if you modify it first. But yeah, that's part of what was this weekend, and I definitely look forward to meeting up with our Star Trek group again so I can play more of it. Alright, talk to you later.
Sorry Aaron hasn't been showing up. He's been on a rotating schedule because it was like training, then he got on a different schedule for like the probationary sort of on the floor training stuff, and then the shift bids came up, and we'll try to get him back in here.